Alright, time for another update here. We've got a lot of progress now. We've got, said that's already on and tightened down. It just, the only thing that makes me worried about this is that the instructions never said how tight that's supposed to be. When I cranked it down with the wrenches, they crank it down is probably the wrong thing. I got it snug. I could still keep going with the wrenches, but I don't know. It's on there, and it's not, going anywhere, but I don't want to crank it down too tight. It doesn't say when to stop, so it's very snug, so I'm gonna let it be at that. I just finished hooking up all the SATA cables. The motherboard actually came with the right amount of SATA cables just by accident. They came with 6 cables, and there's one CD drive which I just monkeyed in up there, and the 5 hard drives which are back over here. It's kind of dark, but there's the 2 solid states, and there's the 3 2-terabyte hard drives. Cable management's a bit of a mess right at this moment. I'm just getting everything in place so that we can, just get it in place and get it ready. At first, I hooked up this one goes to the connector up here on the top for for right there for SATA port on the outside, but so I switched it down here, and now all the CD drive I think is this first one, and then the below it is the first solid state, and then this one is the other solid state, and then the 3 other ones are these down here. This freaking hard drive cage, the one thing I'll say about Leon Lee is that they made this they probably could have made it a little bit simpler, because with just 2 hands trying to monkey it back into place, and then to get these screw holes to line up properly, and then while this is trying to, with as heavy as these 3-terabyte hard drives are, it was kind of a pain in the ass, kind of like monkey fucking a football kind of thing was going on. If I could have had a third hand, it would have been nice, but I managed. I kind of pulled out some magic and made it work, but the one thing about me is I can't stand fucking around with those little tiny screws. Up here was just as much of a pain in the ass, but as you can see, over on this side, it'll probably be even darker over here, but it's that's not too terrible, but it's in there. It's about as flush as I could care to get it. It's there, it works well enough. So there's that. And like I said, we'll worry about cable management when everything is together. And I might not even worry about it tonight. I might just, get everything rocking, and then worry about, get it running and everything installed and everything good. Low profile memory working. Looks like it's going to work out just spectacularly. Get everything running. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the fans on the heatsink. And then I'm probably going to get the graphics card in right there. And then the power supply, power cables to everything. And from there, I think everything should be in and together. And by that point in time, well, everything's going to get real interesting real quick. So that's the update as it stands right now. Cables everywhere, but, worry about it later. I might have to, power it down later on and, worry about cable management at a later time. Just want to really get this thing going and together. So that's the update as it stands right now. Now here's the thing, the LEPAs come with just one, kind of big square thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one came with 1 fan and I got 2 fans. So I'm going to cut both of them in half for a little bit for each corner, just like this one. The actual additional pads that came with the Enermax Vegas Duo fan with this cooler make it fit real tight up against the cooler. Without them it's loose, but obviously vibration resistance, you want to dampen that, so that's going to work nice. Alright, got another quick update here. As you can see, I got the graphics card in and I got the fans on. The fans are, this one fits on nice and tight. That has the actual Enermax, like I said, the Enermax. These, I cut these down from the 2 LEPA kits, and they're not as tight, but it will still work. So there's that. That's pretty awesome. I was supposed to get a 2-into-1 connector, but the motherboard down here is kind of dark, so you can't really see it. But the motherboard right here is actually an optional CPU fan, and then right behind it is the CPU fan. So there's actually 2 CPU fan connectors on this motherboard. So there you go. That's it. So, and then the graphics card, interestingly enough, I don't understand, but the first PCI slot in the case doesn't line up. It's, that all lines up there, so I don't know why this doesn't. It's a little strange, but whatever. The next 2, number 2 and 3, it does, and it is a tight fit to get it into this. By a tight fit, I mean getting these screw holes to line back up again. I had to push it a little bit. A little aggressive, but nothing too destructive. Clears the cooler nicely, and it clears. Another thing, there's the fans with the low profile memory. I can fully get my finger almost under there. Yeah, it's about the thickness of my finger is about what I can squeeze under there. So those low profile memories are pretty damn good. And then, like I said, for Crossfire though, it'll work. That's going to be real tight. So yeah. Next in is going to be I'm going to slide the power supply in. I don't know if I'm going to attach it fully, but then I'm going to get the power cables and probably attach the power cables then to the power supply. So that's next.